Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and yep, here with a Paladin's quest. Level 68. Straight to Black Lotus. It is time, Serenia, and the Ul Cup final. You have what it takes to win. Just fight as you always do, and the rest will follow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my regret to inform you that Black Lotus has withdrawn from the match. In the absence of an opponent, the winner of the Ul Cup final is Serenia Shadowstar by default. Hey, you think that those rumors could be true, do you? What, the Black Lotus is Aldous, the gladiator who was banished from the Colosseum? Seems a little far-fetched, but you never know these things. An unexpected turn of events. Black Lotus, the winner of an alt group, has withdrawn. I repeat, Black Lotus has withdrawn. 12 in a tank, what a blaze is going on. We will lay further information as soon as the more becomes available. Please bear with us. What's the meaning of this? Apologies, my lady, but I'm as much in the dark as you are. It was the tournament registrar who spoke with Black Lotus on the matter. Not even the organizers have full grasp of the situation. It isn't uncommon for combatants to withdraw from a match, but when it does happen, more often than not, something illicit is afoot. Well, some might consider default to be the sweetest word. I know that you do not. Nay, an unearned victory such as this rings hollow and brings you no satisfaction. As such, I have a mind to delve into what will certainly prove to be some dark places. May I rely on your help? Good. To begin with, let us go and ask the tournament registrar about his conversation with Black Lotus. Yes, my lady, Black Lotus came and informed me that he no longer wished to fight. This happened shortly after you entered the anteroom. I assumed he would follow suit, but instead he declared his withdrawal. Stunned as I was by the time I had gathered my wits and thought to ask of his reasons, he had spun on his heels and left. He was headed in the direction of Pearl Lane, I believe. If you should speak with him, I suggest you take your search there. Well, I'd say it's time to come clean. Sharp as you are, he's probably seen through the masquerade anyway. Serenia, it's good to see you again. As myself, at any rate. Let me guess, the heartbroken maiden demands to know why I abandoned her in the arena. I tell you that and more besides, but this stays between us, understood? Since we took care of business with Leovold and I left Uldar, I've been roaming the land like a proper vagabond. In the course of which I helped a child in need. You've already met the little scamp. I came up to him one day, all on his lonesome, his face caked in dirt. A war orphan, like so many out here. Upon learning what I did for a living, he decided that he must learn swordplay and begged me to teach him. Wouldn't take no for an answer, the stubborn bugger, and he'd been following me around ever since. Now those that came to me with threats, they mistake the boy for my own and took him hostage and demanded that I pull out of a tournament. If it were just my own head, I wouldn't think twice about risking it, but I won't gamble with someone else's life. The boy may not be my flesh and blood, but he's in danger on my account, and here we are. What can I say? In spite of my self, I've taken to the rascal. I knew it was you, from the moment we fought. Miller, my dear, you're as ravishing as ever. Spare me. All this time and you couldn't bestir yourself to send a single goddamned letter. Easy on Wenger now. Wouldn't be a right shame to line that beautiful face with wrinkles. But that's neither here nor there. Now tell me, why have you returned? As hasty as ever, too, I see. If you must know, rumors had reached me of a free paladin named Serenia Shadowstar, whose skills were beyond compare. Precisely how far beyond compare had her skills become, I simply had to see, nay, test for myself. So I made my way to Ulda. When I arrived, I learned that the prestigious Ul Cup had been revived. If Serenia enters, I'd get my wish. If she doesn't, I'd just have to settle for winning the tournament and resuming my wanderings. With a little help from an old friend, I acquired an invitation and found myself a suitably menacing-looking full-face helmet. Being something of a pariah, it wouldn't do to be seen, you see. If you went for all that effort for the sake of fighting Serenia, why did you withdraw? Simply put, to make way for money. Not mine, mind you, someone else's. As you know, the tournament of this scale sees stupendous sums of coin moved, and there are some who'd stop at nothing to ensure that it moves their way. Well, it turns out that Black Lotus was standing between us an especially unscrupulous crew and their fortune, and so they took my boy and threatened his life. Boy? It's a rather embarrassing tale. Let's save it for after I'm a few tankards in. Someone wants you to win, Serenia, at all cost, and while I do not disagree with that choice of champion, the methods don't sit well with me. But I'm afraid the rest will have to wait. The danger hasn't passed. Though I did as I was told, they haven't kept their end of the bargain. I mean to mount a rescue, and for this I could use your help. I knew I could count on you. First of all, you must track down these match-fixing, child-abducting villains. For the sake of haste, let's split up and investigate. If you could ask after shady swords in these parts, I'd see to the nearby areas. A child? When the hell did he... Shady swords taking wages on the Ul Cup? Haven't seen any of them myself, but it's safe to say they're out there. It's Ulda after all. What? You're here to laugh at me? No, here to ask question. Well, there's plenty around here hoping to strike it rich quick. Don't know any bookmakers myself, don't have a coin for that, but someone's bound to. Gambling? Matrixing? Whatever are you talking about? Kidnapping? Oh gods, I never imagined they got that. Me and my big mouth. Alright, I go out. I tell you what I know. Least I can do to clear my conscience. This black market bookmaker, he has no established base. Better to avoid the authorities, but right now he's a lackey near the gate of Val. Say to the fellow the words, doubt the truth, and he'll tell you where to go. Now, leave me. And you didn't hear any of this from me. Truth. Oh, a customer. Collecting, are you? When it's over by the sultanite tree. Just so you know, it might be a bit noisy. My mate there's a babysitting at the moment. Over by the Sultan tree. It's a big one over there. Yeah, what do you want? Your clothes, your boots, and your chocobo. You want my what? Whoever this clown is, get her! The child is unharmed? Uncle Aldi, I'm so sorry. If only I was stronger. There's nothing a little training won't fix. By the way, have you thanked Serenia yet? Oh, right. Thanks for saving me, Serenia. At first I thought we were one of the groups, but you're a really nice person. Oh, and you're really strong as well. I'm gonna train hard so I can be strong too, and look after myself. Allow me to thank you also, said my friend. And lest you wonder, I haven't been idle either. I managed to find solid evidence implicating the ex-Salsworth Order, our friend whom you saw me having a chat with. The Brassblades have been alerted to his shenanigans, and he'll trouble us no more. Wait, did this boy just call you uncle? Well, I'm a little too far gone to be his playmate. What of it? Wait a minute, don't tell me you assumed he was... You know? That certainly explains your black mood. To prevent further misunderstanding, he isn't mine. I chanced to help him and we became fast friends, that's all. Well, it's not like I cared or anything. It's just, given how long you were gone, I wouldn't have been surprised, that's all. It takes a lot longer than that to grow him this big. This is nothing to laugh about. But it is. At any rate, all's well that ends well. It's just a pity the dream match between me and Serenia could not be. Don't be so quick to give up. You have evidence that you are being threatened, have you not? I believe there's a good chance we can still make it happen. The Ule Cup generated such excitement as the Colosseum has not seen in generations. The organizers would not have to be hopeless fools to forgo the chance to crown it off with a grand finale. I will lodge a formal petition in my capacity as Guildmaster. The match will take place, just you watch. Ha, that's my Miller, as brilliant as you're beautiful. The first sword's good as a word, my friend. Our match is a guaranteed thing. When we finally meet in the arena, let's hold nothing back. And no hard feelings if I win, yes? I will go and entrust the young man to the care of the Brassblades. Pray come and see me at the guild afterwards. My thanks, Serenia. With your help, not only were we able to save Aldous' boy, we may yet spare the tournament an unceremonious end. All that remains is to convince the organizers to host a final. Knowing them though, it won't require much convincing. On the subject of a boy, I would thank you to keep my little misunderstanding to yourself. Now then, I must be about my business. Until such time as the match is confirmed, take what rest you can. You will need it. Okay. It's official, Serenia. The Colosseum has agreed to host the Ule Cup final anew. In the interest of maintaining excitement, things are already in motion. And lest you wonder, Order has since been apprehended by the Brassblades and cannot hinder the proceedings. Aldous has been informed and makes ready even as we speak, and you should likewise see to your own preparations. When all is in order, the tournament register will escort you through to the arena. Suffice it to say, I shall be cheering you on from the viewing gallery. Good luck, and give Aldous a kiss for me. With the rim of your shield. This is it, milady. No more sudden changes of plan. Are you ready to proceed? Ladies and gentlemen, finally at long last the moment you've all been waiting for is here. The World Cup Final! Before this starts, I want to know something. Is it true Black Lotus is actually Aldous the Sword of Nult? What? Black Lotus, I must ask you to remove your helm. Sparks, it's really him. What'll happen now? Nothing will happen, that's what. Once expelled, the gladiator may not fight in the Colosseum again. There will be no match. Aye, that's right. All this time, it was me. I'm the last person who needs to be reminded of my own banishment. If you wish to call off a final, so be it. I'll not argue. Nonetheless, I ask you this. Will you not let Serenia and I fight? We promise to give you a match with the bards shall long sing of. Oh, come on. One of the greatest swordsmen of our age is about to cross swords with a fabled hero, and you have to even think about it? Everyone here must be aching to see them fight. Is that not so? If there's any indication of dishonest conduct, I shall take his head myself. But give him a chance, I say. Remember the incredible performances they've given us thus far, and imagine how much finer this will be. The first sport speaks true. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It would be a crying shame to have it end like this. Aye, listen to Miller. I came here for a final. I want one, damn it! Me too. I watched Aldous since I was a lad, and I want to watch him fight again. Let it happen, rules be damned. You have no objection, Serenian? None at all. I must confess that I too have awaited the match with bated breath. There will be time enough afterwards to revisit past misdeeds. There you have it, Aldous. You have a blessing of all present. Don't ever change, Miller. Come, Serenia. Your opponent with the Sword of Nult. And this time he fights with his actual blade. must say I found Hunter Loop harder in the last episode. A magnificent performance from start to finish. Such exquisite blade work I have seldom beheld. Now then, perchance you have heard that the champion would be awarded a rare tome, one which holds the secret techniques of the first captain of a Sultan Sworn. Papa-chan, if you would be so kind. If I might speak plain, your grace. The tome does not exist. Well, well, I see what you did there, Master Papa-chan. You revived not only Sultan Sasigan's tournament, but his vision as well. Seems the history lesson's in order. During his reign, Sultan Sasagan ul Sisigan invited swordsmen of all lands to Ul'dah to fight for his own with his own elite in tournaments. In time, such tournaments came to attract sellswords, giving rise to a national institution, the grand version that is the Colosseum. While that was a defining development for Ul'dah, historians believe that, in bringing together expert swordsmen, the Sultan's true intent was to advance the gladiatorial arts. But when the balance of power shifted away from the royalists, the royal house lost access to the enormous funds needed to host grand tournaments. The revival of the Ul Cup, the promise of a non-existent prize, all of it was an emulation of Sultan Sasagan's vision. You are most perceptive, Aldous. The true purpose in bringing together the highest names in swordplay was to raise the gladiatorial arts higher, as the Sultan once did. And though we walk in his footsteps, our destination lies a little farther. For it is my hope that not only Ul'dah, but Eorzea as a whole is strengthened. From the Gallian menace to the beast tribes and the primals, the realm is faced with numerous threats. If we are to protect our homes and loved ones, we must keep our blades sharp and our shields strong. Forgive me, your grace. Had you known there was neither tome nor technique, I feared you would not consent to the tournament. You should have consulted with me from the first. As it stands, we must needs find another means of rewarding our champion. My dear Serenia, speak unto me your desire. I shall do mine utmost to bestow it. Yeah, great choices here. Fine, a pardon for all this. A noble request befitting your kind-hearted self. Ere I grant it, however, there's one thing I would know. I am given to understand you were sentenced to exile for being party to bribery. Is it true? It is, your grace. I see. Very well then. I, Nanamul Unamu, Sultana of Ul'dah, do hereby absolve you of all crimes. Our fair nation has need of a man of your strength and skill. Now, more than ever, it would be unconscionable to cast you aside. And to the champion Serenia, I offer my joyous congratulations. Your victory this day shall long remain in our hearts and minds. Though the tournament has come to a close, I pray that all of you shall ever strive to raise your art higher, for the good of all the realm. Well-deserved victory. Congratulations. I just talked to you. You're even stronger than Uncle Aldi. If I'm gonna challenge you one day, I'm gonna have to train extra hard. That was a fight to remember. You've truly grown strong, my friend. Yeah, we just had that. To think that such a motive existed for the tournament. We gladiators too must endeavor to do our part for the greater good of our realm. Hear, hear, my dear. But the things one must do to arrange a simple match with Serenia. Judging by how quickly you've improved in my short time away, had we fought but a few days earlier, I like to think I could have come out on top. So I'm good to return to the Colosseum? You have Her Grace's personal endorsement. I'd say that's about as good as one can get. And as a finalist in the Old Cup, you would draw decent crowds. We'd be glad to have you back. I never dreamed this day would come. Well, I suppose I'll resume my wanderings. What? You've been given a royal pardon, yet you're leaving Uldar again? Miller, you watched Serenia and I fight. For all my training during my travels, all the hardships I subjected myself to, I was no match for her. 'Tis plain I still want for experience, for knowledge and skill. And I won't be at peace until I gain it. Surely you understand this? Yes, but... Worry not, Miller. I will visit whenever I can. After all, there's a filly back home who whinnies incessantly after me. And you, my free Paladin friend? Not only did you oblige me with a match, you rescued my boy and defended my honor besides. For that I cannot thank you enough. I learned much and more from our encounter, and I should be glad if you got something out of it also. Keenly do I look forward to our next meeting, where we can simply square off with no complicating factors to distract us. We get Passage of Arms. Increase block weight 100% and creates a designated area in a cone behind you in which party members will only suffer 85% of all damage inflicted. Effect ends upon using another action or moving, including turning around. Crossing swords with the realm's finest has raised you to greater heights. And we continue in Shadowbringers from Genlands. Like a knight in shining armor 3. Yeah. Room, right? Passage of Arms. Cool. Well, looks nice. And a coffer. So, Templar armor here. Not too bad. Okay, but that's it for this episode. Yeah, that was a Paladin story for... yeah, Stormblood. Oh, next time we do something else, I guess. All here in Uldar, so that was nice. Unlike what I had with the Dragoon, where I had to travel all over the world. Here, all in Uldar. So next time, yeah, something else. Until then, I'm Mace and don't get lost.